Hello YouTube, Takes Cake Tech here. Today I'm going to show you how I would reinstall Windows. This is the download page where you can get the Windows 10 media. Link will be in the description. Click the Download Tool Now button. As you see, I'm using Chrome. The Media Creation Tool.exe will be created on your Downloads folder. In this case, I'll just click it. This is the first page. You must accept the license terms because Microsoft, of course, right? So click Accept here, which I'll be brought to the next page. Create installation media. What do I want to do? Well, in this case, we want to create the installation media, USB, DVD, or ISO. We're going to be using a USB flash drive in this case, but in this, I'm using a Windows 10 computer, so I'll use the recommended settings. 64-bit, Windows 10. Not sure why you'd use 32-bit nowadays. So like I said before, we're going to use a USB flash drive. So I have a USB that's at least 8 gigs plugged into my computer right now. And then I will click Next. And as you can see, there's a few drives I have. I'm going to select the E drive because I know that's the drive that I would like to use. Be careful because it will wipe the drive. So if you select the wrong drive, it's going to be deleted. Now, it will begin the download. Like it said before, it's about an 8 gig download, so this can take some time depending on your internet connection. After the download is completed, it will start creating the Windows 10 media. This doesn't take too long, but it could if you're still using a hard drive on your computer. Just let it finish, and then your flash drive will be ready. You can eject it or pull it out depending on what version of Windows 10 or 7 you're using, but in case, just be careful and safely eject it. Now I'm going to show you. I plugged the flash drive in and booted to it. Depending on your computer, you might have to Google boot options. HP is usually F8. In this case, I'm using Hyper-V, so I'm able to manipulate the boot options with a file. As you saw there, I clicked Next, clicked Install Now. The setup is starting. This can take some time. It doesn't usually, but in this case, I think it only took like 10 seconds. There we go. I'm not using a product key, so I click I do not have a product key. I'm selecting Windows 10 Pro. Most of the time, you'll be using Windows 10 Home. You will know if you're using Windows 10 Pro. Accept the terms again because Microsoft. Next. Now make sure here you select Custom. Now all the partitions you're seeing here are just Windows 10 default partitions. As we delete these partitions, all the data on the drive will be lost. So be very careful if you don't have your data backed up that you select the right partitions to delete. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time just to configure. It'll go to the next screen here, and most people would skip through this, but I'm going to talk through it. So it copies the files, and it gets the files ready for the installation. Sometimes this can take some time. So while we have some time, let me explain why you might use this. If your computer is blue screening, it won't boot, you need to have some other way to set up a new computer, you want to try Windows 10, things like that. Windows 10 is really nice with the installation media because drivers are pretty much all caked in. Windows 7, a lot of the times you had to pre-install the drivers. We're going to skip ahead here a little bit to when this finishes, and we'll go through the finishing process. As you see, it's just installing updates. I don't really think it installs updates, though. It says it's installing updates, but it's not connected to the internet right now, so I don't know where it would be getting those updates from. We'll let it finish up here, and then now your computer will restart. This is where you'd want to pull your flash drive out of the computer so it does not boot to it again. And 3, 2, 1. Here's the Hyper-V screen. We'll let it load up here. The first boot always takes the longest with Windows 10, so just be patient. Depending on the drive in the computer, I'm using my M.2 drive, so this shouldn't take too long. This getting ready feature is actually a really nice thing that Windows 10 has, because if, for example, you take your hard drive out and put it into a new computer, it will spin on getting ready and it'll reinstall the drivers, whereas with Windows 7 you would basically have to manually do it with command prompt, which was super annoying. So for us IT professionals out there, this is helpful. And to explain kind of what a driver is, so every component in your computer requires software for Windows to recognize it. That software can be downloaded online, through Windows updates. There's a variety of other methods to get drivers too, but those are just the two easiest that I know of. We're going to skip ahead here again. This is going to take some time. So after it finishes, you'll get this just a moment screen. What this is preparing is what I like to call the out-of-box experience, and that's also what Microsoft calls it too. This out-of-box experience is something new with Windows 10 and can be automated. We will go into depth on that process in other videos. This video is really just to show you the beginning steps of reinstalling Windows. So here we are at the out-of-box experience screen. We'll click next on United States because that's where I'm at, and we'll make sure that we use the US keyboard layout. We don't need to add a second keyboard in this case, so we'll just skip. We'll wait here. This is a feature that was added in more recent Windows 10 versions. It's checking the network so that it can have us sign in with a Microsoft account so that they can steal our data, right? Well, that's what people say. I think using a Microsoft account is very important, but in this setup, I will not be using a Microsoft account. So we're going to set it up for personal use. And then see, here's what I was talking about. I want to use a Microsoft account. So you saw quickly there, I went to the create an offline account, and I still want to use a limited experience. It's telling me twice now. So we'll just create an account for this PC. We'll call it YouTube. That'll be the username. And then in this case, no password. We'll just hit next and let it load. So like I was talking about, this is the out-of-box experience screen. It looks like in this version, you can actually bypass the creating a Microsoft account, but I have seen where you can't actually bypass that create a Microsoft account without disconnecting the network, which is super annoying. So as you just saw there while I was talking, I pretty much just accepted all the terms of services, everything like that with Microsoft. So, but here we go. Now we're getting our devices ready, getting everything ready. This screen can be really annoying if it doesn't ever move, but we'll see how long this several minutes takes. Microsoft, let's see what we can do. Just be patient here. Depending on the speed of your computer, it might not be as fast as mine, or it could be way faster. But it's important that you're just patient during this part. So while we wait here, I kind of want to talk about my next video will be about provisioning packages. It will be a little bit more of an advanced video for IT pros or intermediate people who have to set up multiple computers. This is really just going over how to reinstall Windows 10 because everyone should know how to do that. The one thing that you do need to know about if you're willing to restore your computer is storing your data somewhere else. Personally, I have multiple drives on my computer, so I'll save some data on another drive that if I do need to reinstall, I won't wipe that partition like you saw earlier when I was talking about deleting the partitions. I only have one drive now, but if I were to reimage my computer that I'm using, you would see drive 0 and drive 1. A lot of the times, computer pros like to use the term 0 for what is 1, or 1 for what would technically be 2. It's kind of strange here. So as you can see, it's rebooting one more time. Hyper-V kind of freaks out a little bit here, so give me a second while I get full screen. And here we are. We're able to sign in again. Welcome. We made it all the way through the reinstall. Now I wanted to reiterate here, and you'll see as I click through that all the data is gone. You just have this screen. There's nothing else installed. I was just checking display settings here and everything like that to see if I could change the display, make it look a little bit bigger here. Hyper-V is kind of weird, which is why it's kind of bunched up like this, but it will act the same as a new computer would, which is why I used Hyper-V. You don't really need to know in this video what it is, but just know that it'll work the same on any computer that is bootable and has a working hard drive. Thanks again for watching this video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment. Throw me a subscribe if you really want to see more videos like this. It helps me know. Thanks.